Module 5, Child Intervention and Child Abuse. Module 5, Learning Objective. Describe the provincial caseload and the 5 main types of child abuse. Module 5, Do you know? True or false? During 2017-18, 15,726, or 1.7% of the 935,861 children in Alberta received child intervention services. Sorry, the correct answer is true. In 2017-18, child intervention staff responded to approximately 55,000 reports of child maltreatment, neglect, and/or abuse, approximately 4,600 reports each month. Of these reports, 88% did not require an open child intervention file. The remaining 12% led to an open child intervention file. 8% were not in care. The child remained in the family home. 4% were in care. The child was removed from the family home. You're correct. In 2017-18, child intervention staff responded to approximately 55,000 reports of child maltreatment, neglect, and/or abuse, approximately 4,600 reports each month. Of these reports, 88% did not require an open child intervention file. The remaining 12% led to an open child intervention file. 8% were not in care. The child remained in the family home. 4% were in care. The child was removed from the family home. Module 5, Provincial Caseload Breakdown. Module 5, Providing Services. Intervention services found that the majority of these children did not need intervention, but were in need of some supports. As such, families were provided with brief services or were referred or connected to community resources, including prevention and early intervention programs. Module 5, Legal Terms. The CIFIA and Canada's Criminal Code set out in legal terms what behaviors and conditions might be so harmful it is necessary to intervene. How do you plan to apply this information in your work? Module 5. Addressing Safety. Child intervention practitioners will work in collaboration with the family, extended family, cultural connections, community partners, and others to address concerns. When the safety of a child or youth has been compromised, and an effective safety plan with the parent or guardian of the child cannot be created, an alternative placement may be required. In these cases, child intervention works with the child, their parents and guardians, and other people important to them to find a safe and nurturing home where the child feels secure and is able to develop healthy, lifelong connections. Module 5. Endangerment. In the Child, Youth, and Family Enhancement Act, a child is in need of intervention if there are reasonable and probable grounds to believe that the safety, security, or development of the child is endangered from the following: neglect, child abandonment, physical injury, emotional injury, or sexual abuse. Let's look at what those mean. Module 5. Terms of endangerment. Neglect. Module 5. Neglect. Neglect. Any lack of care that causes serious harm to a child's development or endangers the child in any way. Physical neglect is the failure to meet the child's physical needs. This includes failing to provide adequate supervision, nutrition, clothing, shelter, health care, and protection from harm. Emotional neglect is the failure to meet the child's emotional needs for affection and a sense of belonging. Module 5. Terms of endangerment. Child abandonment. Module 5. Child abandonment. Child abandonment. Child abandonment is when a guardian leaves an infant or child alone and without care, and or with the intent of permanently giving up care and custody of the infant or child. This includes a parent's failure to provide any financial assistance or to communicate with their child over a period of time. Module 5. Terms of endangerment. Emotional injury. Module 5. Emotional injury. Emotional injury. It can take the form of chronic exposure to alcohol or drug abuse, verbal attacks on a child's sense of self, repeated humiliation, or rejection. Exposure to violence or severe conflict in the home, forced isolation, restraint, or causing a child to be afraid much of the time may also cause emotional harm. Emotional injury rarely happens only once, and it is usually part of a particular way of relating to children. Module 5. Terms of endangerment. Physical injury. Module 5. Physical injury. Physical injury. The intentional use of force on any part of a child's body that results in serious injuries. It may be a single incident or a series or pattern of incidents. The Criminal Code states that physical force cannot be used on children unless the force used is reasonable and is used for corrective purposes by a parent or someone acting in the role of parent. Module 5. Terms of endangerment. Sexual abuse. Module 5. Sexual abuse. Sexual abuse, the improper exposure of a child to sexual contact, activity, or behavior. It includes any sexual touching, intercourse, exploitation, or exposure, and can be perpetrated by anyone, including a parent, relative, friend, or stranger. Module 5. Test yourself. Read the following statement. Determine the type of harm. A parent leaves their 17-month-old baby alone in their apartment. The parent returns 3 days later without food or supplies for the child. A. Child abandonment. B. Emotional. C. Sexual. You're correct. Child abandonment. Child abandonment is when a guardian leaves an infant or child alone and without care, and/or with the intent of permanently giving up care and custody of the infant or child. This includes a parent's failure to provide any financial assistance or to communicate with their child over a period of time. Sorry, the correct answer is A. Child abandonment. Child abandonment is when a guardian leaves an infant or child alone and without care, and/or with the intent of permanently giving up care and custody of the infant or child. This includes a parent's failure to provide any financial assistance or to communicate with their child over a period of time. Module 5. Child Intervention and Child Abuse. Congratulations! You've completed Module 5. Next, Module 6. The Effects of Abuse and Neglect on Children.